Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is February 22nd, 2023. It's Wednesday. It's 2:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is my Coping with Schizophrenia blog entry for today. Today I'm doing pretty good. My symptoms are not that bad. I went to the pharmacy this morning to pick up my prescription for Seroquel and I believe another medication. I can't remember what it was. Um, and I also put in a request for a refill on my Klonopin, which I have to do every 2 weeks because my psychiatrist is not writing my Klonopin prescriptions in 30-day prescriptions. He's writing them in 2 week prescriptions. That way he has more control over what I'm doing, which makes sense. Klonopin is for anxiety, but in the United States and New York State, it's a controlled substance. So my psychiatrist is very cautious about writing prescriptions and making sure that I'm not taking too much. Um, but yeah, I filled the Seroquel this morning, picked that up, and can't remember exactly what the other medication was. Um, it might have been my prostate medication, but I can't remember. Um, But anyways, my symptoms are not that bad today. My anxiety levels are not that high. I got a good night's sleep for the first time in a long time last night. Um, my delusions don't seem to be that bad. My auditory hallucinations are at a bare minimum. Anxiety levels are not very high. Depression not that severe. It is colder out today than it was yesterday. A little bit of snow falling, but Rochester's been unusually warm this winter. Yesterday it was 50 degrees. Today it's about 28 degrees with a few flurries of snow, but not much. Um, Winter always, well, not always, but is sometimes more difficult for people who have a mental illness, whether that's depression or schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, OCD, whatever. Sometimes winter makes things more difficult, especially in terms of mood, but also physical pain. My arthritis gets worse during the winter and sort of subsides during the spring, summer, and early fall. Um, but yeah, I did my physical therapy exercises this morning. I went for my walk, did some work on my computer. I do consumer surveys for extra money. I'm making this video as part of my daily schedule. Um, I am seeing my peer support specialist tomorrow at 3:30. She is a person with a mental health diagnosis who works as a paid counselor. At the clinic I go to, she's not my main counselor. I do have a psychotherapist that I'm seeing next week. I'm alternating between my peer support specialist and my psychiatrist every week. So I'm seeing each one every 2 weeks. And I'm seeing my psychiatrist at the beginning of March. Um, as far as my pulmonary fibrosis is concerned, I don't have a lot of information yet. I do definitely have it. It's showed up in a abdominal CT scan that caught part of my lungs, and they diagnosed me with pulmonary fibrosis. That's when scar tissue forms in the lungs, making it more difficult to breathe. It makes exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lungs more difficult, making me get out of breath very easily, even if I'm just going for a daily walk. Exercise can be difficult. Sometimes I have to sit down and rest and catch my breath. It's even worse, much worse, if I'm carrying something heavy like groceries. That's why when I go grocery shopping, since I'm doing it on foot, I always bring a cart with me. If I tried to bring home 3 or 4 bags of groceries, by carrying them, I would probably fucking pass out. So I always go with a cart to do food shopping. A cart that I bought that I can take to and from the store back to my house. Um, Winter always makes that more difficult because if there's 6, 7, 8 inches of snow on the ground, which hasn't happened yet, but if it does, it makes it more difficult to drag the car through the snow, even though it's got 4 wheels on it. Um, but it's easier than carrying shit through the snow. Um, but I am seeing the pulmonary specialist on March 28th. They're going to test the strength of my lungs, and then I will talk to the specialist after that, the doctor, the pulmonologist, and we will see if or what treatment options are available for my pulmonary fibrosis. But right now, I don't know that much. So there's not much to report on that. Like, comment, share, subscribe.